Hello, my name is Pascal DeCelia Kozak. It's been 1 year, 4 months, 17 days since my son Anthony left us. Let me tell you Anthony's story, and this is Anthony. On February 2nd, 2022, my son Anthony sent me a text asking if I was available to talk to him for a little bit because he needed to tell me something. Nothing prepared me for what Tony was about to tell me. I called him and I said, "Hi, baby." He said, "Hi, Ma." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Ma, I went to the doctor and they told me I have cancer." At first, I didn't understand what he told me. I said, "What?" He said, "I have cancer." I felt like the floor opened up and swallowed me whole. But all I could say to him, "It's gonna be okay, baby." I started asking Tony all kind of questions. Tony told me while he was working out, he felt a bump in his stomach but didn't think anything of it at first. He thought it was a hernia. As the bump started growing, he started having much pain and trouble walking on his right legs. That's when he decided to go to the doctor. Months later, Tony was diagnosed with soft tissue sarcoma. It was a very rare, fast-growing, aggressive tumor in his stomach. From the time Anthony told me on February 2nd, I started doing my research on soft tissue sarcoma. My husband and I went up to New York to be with Tony for his first treatment. His first treatment was on February 9, 2022. I remember having a meeting with his doctor who told me that he was going to do everything possible for Tony. After Tony's first treatment that night, he got sick and ended up in the hospital. And for the first time, Tony was away from his 5-year-old little boy. And from there, he had another one and another one and another treatment. Altogether, Tony had 4 treatments. The tumor just kept on growing and producing more fluid. Through all of it, through all Tony's pain, Anthony never complained. Every time I would ask him, he would say he was doing okay. He would say, "Ma, I'm okay." I would see the pain in his face, and all I wanted to do was wrap my arm around him and take his pain away. 1 week before Mother's Day, his doctor called me and told me we needed to have a family meeting. Tony went in for an appointment. He couldn't hardly walk. And we have to start talking about hospice care because his treatment is not working. As a mother, that's not what I wanted to hear from my child's doctor. On Mother's Day, May 8, 2022, I got a call from his other half, Ashley, saying that she had to call the ambulance because Tony was throwing up and Tony's not doing too good. My husband and I got up, we started getting ready, and we started driving from North Carolina to New York City. It was the longest 8-hour drive of my life. I prayed to God the whole 8 hours to please work a miracle and save my child. As we got to New York, we went straight to the hospital. He was still in the emergency room. I walked in his room, holding my tears back. I kissed him on his forehead, and he was still throwing up. I wiped his mouth. I prayed God some more to please help him. His room was ready. We took him up to his room, the nurses and I tucked him in bed, as if he was still that little boy I used to tuck in. As I was getting ready to leave, Tony looked at me and said, "Ma, I love you." And I told him, "I love you more, baby." The next day, it was me, my husband, Ashley, and her parents. We all went to see Tony's doctor. Tony's doctor basically told us that the treatment is not working and there's nothing more they could do for him. Now, the reason Tony's father was not at the meeting is because Tony's dad passed away 12 years ago with cancer. I came out and I asked the doctor, "Are you telling me my child is going to die?" He said, "Well, we will cross that bridge when we get to it." We left the meeting and we all went up to see Tony in his hospital room. My baby was still hanging in there. He was talking, we was laughing, and I cried when Tony wasn't looking. Tony spoke to God with my husband, and he was okay. On Tuesday, May 10th, Anthony took a turn for the worse. The nurses told us that they don't think he's going to make it through the night. I couldn't believe it. I was still praying for a miracle. I told myself, God, you could do anything. If God could raise Lazarus from the dead and make blind men see, I believe he will heal my son. The doctor and nurses told us to start calling family and friends to come say their last goodbyes. Ashley and I started calling family and friends. Everyone started coming one by one to the hospital. His little boy Cameron came to visit his dada, not knowing this was the last time he would ever see his dada alive. On Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, while I was wiping my son's mouth, Anthony looked at me and took his last breath. I am telling Anthony's story because I want everyone to know that I had a son, and his name was Anthony DeCelia. He walked this earth. He was love. He was a father. He was a brother. He was a partner. And most of all, he was my son. I also believe if he had gone to the doctor sooner, maybe he would still be here. This disease tried to destroy everything good in my son, but he never gave up. While Tony was in the hospital, his other half and I asked him, if anything happened, did he want us to fight for him? And he answered, yes, of course I want you to fight for me. So today I'm here fighting for my son and all the other family that's going through what my family have gone through and still going through due to soft tissue sarcoma. We are going to walk, we are going to raise money, and we are going to spread the awareness about this disease until we find the cure, so the next Anthony will have a chance to be here with his family. Thank you.